But that's all right.
Can I just point out, there is something fundamentally ludicrous about somebody dressed as you are talking the language of modern human rights.
Absolutely.
What's a bit
fundamentally ludicrous.
That's in your mind.
Douglas Murray is once again strongly talking about issues the left-wing media is trying to hide from the general public as he goes head-to-head with these Islamic women who claim they choose to wear the niqab on their own accord.
Not a single person, not a single woman has said to me, my husband has forced me to wear a niqab. What the issues they do have is regards to niqab, I am fearful to go out, I'm at home, I'm lonely, I'm depressed, I don't even want to go out because I feel like I'm not accepted. And the other thing I really want to express is that where is the humanity? You know, at the end of the day, you know, as a woman, as a person, as a human being, where's my right to be who I am?
Douglas is about to totally destroy her in a second. But while these women might argue that wearing the niqab is a personal choice and part of their identity, it's crucial to recognize the broader issues it brings to society. The niqab, by its very nature, creates a barrier between individuals and hinders open communication, which is fundamental to a cohesive society. Also, these women fail to recognize that the feelings of loneliness and depression they describe clearly shows how wearing the niqab highlights the isolating effect that comes with it. If your whole face is covered, who do you expect to approach you for a conversation? This isn't just about personal freedom, it's about ensuring that all members of society can engage openly and freely without any barriers like the niqab.
This is my identity.
You have that right. You have that right, and you exercise it, and so are all of the other ladies in this room. But the question is whether or not, and I would ask this of I think everyone in the room who's covered, do you think that by covering your face from everyone else in society, you are exacerbating difference or making it less bad?
Mariam,
would any of you at least recognise that you are exacerbating a difference?
Douglas Murray's rebuttal proves a critical issue, which is that the niqab inherently increases societal divisions. Everyone has the right to express their identity, but the broader impact on societal inclusion cannot be ignored. The niqab acts as a physical and symbolic barrier, fostering an environment of separation rather than unity. In a society that values open communication and mutual understanding, covering one's face prevents the development of trust and community bonds. As Douglas rightly says, it's not merely about personal choice. It's about the collective well-being and peace of society. By recognizing the divisive nature of the niqab, we can take steps to ensure that societal values of openness and integration are upheld, which will ultimately promote a more compatible and unified community.
First and foremost, I think we need to look at human rights, okay? In 1998, there was the Human Rights Convention, okay? Under Article 9, it specifically says we all have the freedom of expression, we have the freedom of belief, we have the freedom of so many things that, you know, like in this country, I thought
Mariam, on Douglas Murray's point, that this is, you know, do you understand that many people feel this is divisive? It is a curtain between you and the rest of society.
Well, to be quite frank, I think people are free to feel how they want. It doesn't. I don't care how you feel. It's really no. Wait. Really and truly, it's about my human rights. My human right, I am allowed to cover. You don't have to
just
agree.
Very briefly on the point that many people in the survey said that they feel unease, they feel uncomfortable, they feel anxious.
Well, to be quite frank, I feel like that towards emos, but that's all right.
Can I just point out, there is something.
The argument for human rights and freedom of expression may be valid. However, let's consider the broader societal impact of wearing the niqab. Douglas is spot on when he emphasizes that individual rights should not come at the expense of societal peace and mutual trust. The physical and psychological barrier that the niqab creates between individuals only foster feelings of unease and discomfort among the wider community. This is not just about personal freedom, but about the collective responsibility we have to ensure that our society remains open, integrated, and united. In a society that values transparency and open communication, the niqab stands in contrast to these principles, potentially hindering the development of trust and understanding. Therefore, while respecting individual rights, we must also prioritize the greater good for society.
What's in your mind, Douglas? Kola Hassan.
This lady is constantly talking about rights. As a Muslim, you should know that responsibility is there as well. You have a responsibility to society around you.
Exactly.
I'm a
community organizer.
Douglas brilliantly highlights a crucial aspect often overlooked in discussions on rights, which is the balance between individual freedoms and societal responsibilities. Although the niqab wearer keeps emphasizing her human rights, Douglas rightly points out that with rights come responsibilities. In any functioning society, it's very important to consider how personal choices impact the community. The niqab, as Douglas suggests, creates a barrier that can hinder mutual trust between individuals in the society. It's not just about one's freedom to express their beliefs, but also about the responsibility to contribute positively to societal unity and peace. If we focus solely on individual rights without acknowledging the broader societal implications, we risk fostering division rather than unity. Therefore, it is vital to strike a balance, ensuring that personal freedoms do not undermine the collective well-being of society.
You're a doctor in the NHS.
Yes, I am.
And obviously that is one of the very public places where a ban, if it were to be considered, that
Well, first of all, I would like to say that calling for a ban on niqab in NHS is actually talking about an issue that does not really exist. Because me and my friends, have been contacting a lot of doctors all across the 4 countries of United Kingdom, and none of them have ever come across a doctor who actually observed the face veil within NHS, or even a nurse. Exactly. So, I don't really see that why an issue that does not really exist is actually being addressed. There is no one, or no doctor or a nurse who actually wears the niqab in NHS.
Just very,
even
very
myself,
on that point,
because
isn't that an acknowledgement that there is a difficulty for many people, that patients would find it uncomfortable?
No, it's not actually like that, because I am not given a choice to wear it within NHS. When I know it as a fact that if I wear my face veil and go to a job interview, I will never be taken up.
While this NHS doctor argues that no doctors wear the niqab in the NHS, this isn't just about the current situation, but about the principles and values that guide our public institutions. The NHS is a cornerstone of British society, which relies on open communication and trust between healthcare providers and patients. However, here is the case where the niqab will cover the whole face and can create a barrier to these essential elements, potentially affecting the quality of care and the comfort of patients. Moreover, the fact that the opponent acknowledges that wearing a niqab would hinder job opportunities in the NHS proves the practical challenges it poses, and the point Douglas is trying to convey. It's not merely about individual choice, but about maintaining a standard that ensures effective and transparent healthcare for all.
How is it that you say it's an absolutely fundamental, you have to wear it, it's a right, it's a necessity upon you, but yet you say you go through an airport and it doesn't matter if you lift it? Is it so negotiable? In France, many of the women who said we cannot go out if we don't wear it have taken it off.
Douglas totally obliterates this NHS doctor with his rebuttal that raises a critical point about the consistency and necessity of wearing the niqab. This inconsistency undermines these women's argument that the niqab is an absolute requirement. If the niqab is truly fundamental to one's faith, then exceptions, like lifting it at airports or in countries like France, should not be negotiable. This flexibility suggests that the niqab is more about personal or cultural preference rather than a non-negotiable religious mandate. Therefore, in a society that values transparency, especially in public spaces and services, such inconsistencies can create confusion and distrust. As Douglas brilliantly emphasizes the importance of clear, consistent standards that uphold societal values and ensure effective communication and trust in all public interactions.
Many of the women who came forward to talk to us today are very young. And actually, one of the questions that I think a lot of people ask is, we've looked at Afghanistan and we've heard stories of women who have burnt the face veil and are terrified of the prospect of having to wear it again. Yeah. And they just don't understand how young women in Britain want to wear it here. Very briefly, if you can.
Well, I started wearing the niqab at a young age, and the reason is after a research. It's a long spiritual journey. I found out that when I wear the niqab, I'll be closer to God. It's an act of worship, is an act of modesty, and is liberating and dignifying. And since then, I've never changed my mind. And although my parents, my mum, my sister, don't wear it, it's me. It's my personal choice.
These women also fail to understand the disconnect between personal choice and societal norms. They claim that wearing the niqab is a personal spiritual journey, an act of worship. But if it raises concerns about the broader implications for shared values, then is it really worth it? Imagine how in countries like Afghanistan, women have fought against the niqab, viewing it as a symbol of oppression. Then you come to Britain, and you have young women who will just go out of their way to wear it. It can be seen as a troubling trend that contradicts the progress made towards gender equality and personal freedom. Moreover, the idea that wearing the niqab brings one closer to God can be perceived as subjective and not universally applicable. What we need to prioritize is our shared values and clear communication to ensure that personal choices do not undermine the collective well-being.
Yes, and in a free society, the opinions of other people also have to matter. It's not just about you exercising your choice. The way other people feel about that should be of some concern to you.
But you know, these feelings are coming from negative prejudices. We have coming from
You don't want men's opinions? No. You don't want men's opinions?
I'm sorry, we are going to have to end it there. I'm really sorry.
As the only man, I'm sorry you don't want to hear men's opinions.
Thank you very much for joining us.
Douglas's final point really hits home. In a free society, individual choices can't be made in a void. It's crucial to consider how those choices impact others. When women choose to wear the niqab, it's not just about their personal journey or spiritual beliefs. It's also about how their actions affect the community around them. Feelings of discomfort or concern from others aren't always rooted in prejudice. They can stem from genuine worries about integration, communication, and shared societal values. By ignoring these concerns, there's a dangerous risk of creating divisions and misunderstandings. What Douglas is doing is advocating for a balanced approach where personal freedoms are respected, but not at the expense of societal peace. It's about finding common ground and ensuring that everyone's opinions and feelings are valued in a truly free society. What are your thoughts on what Douglas has to say in this debate? Be sure to like, subscribe, and let us know in the comments section what your thoughts are. See you in the next video.